Hello and welcome back everyone, and today I will be doing a breakdown of The Challenge Season 40 Battle of the Eras super trailer that was at the end of the launch special that premiered on Wednesday on MTV. This super trailer was also released earlier on that Wednesday, and I just want to say thank you for your patience as I was doing the review and recap for the launch special. I'm glad I did wait because there were some extra scenes of eliminations and daily challenges in that launch special that I will also be diving into at the beginning of this breakdown. But before we look into any scenes, I do want to put this out there that there is a potential spoiler warning for possible elimination matchups, seeing who's in what daily challenges. If you do not want to have an ounce of this season possibly spoiled, I would say pause this video, click off of it, and maybe return to it at a later date or towards the end of the season to see how much I did get right. With that context out of the way, let's first start off going through some of the clips and scenes from the launch special. In the very beginning of the launch special, they threw up some different random clips of daily challenges and eliminations. Some we have seen in the official trailer, like this catapult scene. Of course, we have the car going off the cliff. We saw this in the official trailer as well. Here we have somebody else from Era 4 doing this. I don't know, to me, that could be maybe Michelle or Olivia, in my opinion, doing this as well, so you can count on one of them to be doing this challenge as well. And then we have somebody in the blue helmet also doing this. Here we have one of the first eliminations, and we have not seen this elimination in any other trailer or promos. As you can see, it looks like this elimination has two walls full of spikes and then a row of balls or balloons in the middle. I would assume the players are going to have to run, grab some balloons or balls, and then chuck them at the spikes to open them up. Maybe there's something inside. Maybe they're looking for a certain like gunk inside the ball. Or maybe you're trying to pop all your balloons before the other player. I don't know how fun this challenge is going to be. Maybe it could be closed. But to me, that elimination sounds like a kiddie carnival game. As you can tell, they're kind of doing this one little later on in the season. This also gives us a little bit of details of who possibly could be playing in this elimination, more specifically the eras, not the exact people. But as we can see, it looks like there's somebody who's wearing a dark blue shirt, Era 1, going up against a light baby blue shirt, which is Era 3. And that's kind of confirmed if you look back into the audience, where it looks like there's two people waiting to go. One is in a light baby blue shirt, and then the other person's in a dark blue shirt, as it looks like the eras are going to be standing in a row where Era 1 is going to be on the far left, Era 2 and Era 3 are going to be in the middle, and then Era 4 is going to be on the far right. At first, I was confused about what this elimination could be, but then instantly when you see this person like hike the cinder block in between their legs, which I believe this is Ryan. I'm trying to figure out if Ryan has that tattoo. I believe he does. To me, when I saw them hike the cinder block, like they're throwing the cinder block away from wherever they're at, I was like, what could this be? And then I thought, oh, this could be take shelter elimination. As they added in some logs, they have a whole bunch of chains and ropes and everything. Here we have the hall brawl yet again. I felt like they were very explicit, giving too much information in the official trailer to this hall brawl, to the point where I feel like this is definitively showing that this is Paulie versus Theo. But the biggest spoiler is in the background. You have a whole bunch of people from Era 1, Era 2, Era 3, and then you have these players from Era 4. I just had a huge goosebumps moment. I remember from the super trailer, TJ says that some of you may not know, but half of you are going into the elimination tonight. So 20 people is going to be facing off in eliminations, like 4 from each team could be facing off against the eliminations. And so if you're looking at all the eliminations set up, the hall brawl set up with 2 take shelter fortresses. You also have a ring, so that way you can do pole wrestle. That's 3 eliminations. I'm trying to figure out what the 4th one is, but as you can see, this could be right after the Open Era Invitational, where everybody is trying to fight for their right to stay in the game, where maybe the losers are going to be having to face off in an elimination. They're going to go straight from there to here. So Would this mean that episode 1 is jam-packed with so many eliminations, or would it be to be continued to episode 2, where in episode 1 or 2, at the end of episode 1, maybe the start of episode 2, we could be seeing like 4 different elimination matchups for each era, where era 4 looks like it'll be doing a hall brawl. And then Era 2 could be facing off against each other in Take Shelter. And I believe in the official trailer, we saw 2 dark blue jerseys facing off in the middle for a pole wrestle. Would they just rip all of those eliminations out all at once? If that's the case, I feel like if they were to go through all of those classic elimination / Take Shelter eliminations right off the rip, going right in the beginning of the season, I feel like we would see them possibly again. Maybe, hence why they were so willing to show Theo versus Paulie in the official trailers, because it's like, oh, we're gonna play that one at the very beginning. So nothing gets too spoilerish because we're playing that one right off the beginning. But as you can see in the background, it looks like, I mean, the only people that you can clearly see in the background is like Era 3, because 1, their jersey colors are so bright. And it doesn't look like there's anybody from Era 4 kind of like set up here already. But as you can see with Era 3, I think that's Leroy, I think that's Tony, and I don't know who that other person is. Maybe Avery, who's like shielding her face. I believe we see Avery in the SWAT team challenge hiding her face when the guys are going. So I think that Avery is a little squeamish when seeing some physical contact. So I think that's Avery there. It looks like there's 4 players standing there for Era 2 and Era 1. So maybe they're going backwards, where Era 4 has to play their elimination games first, and then it's going to be Era 3. Here's an elimination that I'm kind of worried about. It just looks like somebody's trying to take out all the nails from this board. Maybe this is a multi-stage elimination where there's going to be random tasks that you're going to have to complete, and the first person to complete all of it will win. Or this elimination, TJ, is like there's like 300 nails on that board. Use a hammer to take out all the nails. The person to de-nail their wall will win. And maybe that's what we're going to be up to. This elimination, I think, looks the coolest. This elimination looks like the players are going to have to put bars in this ladder / apparatus that looks like DNA. Then once you have all the bars set up, then you're going to have to climb all the way up and like ring a bell. It looks like there's 2 pink helmets. So this will be an Era 4 versus Era 4 player. It looks like the person on the red pedestal to the left is dominating this elimination. This elimination looks interesting as well, because if you check out, it looks like it's Era 1 versus Era 3. They're in a boxing match. We kind of saw this one in the official trailer where there was somebody who was like trying to run around, kind of catches the other one, and then you just see this like poof of a red cloud. This player who is like standing directly in the middle, not the person in the light blue jersey, but the person directly in the middle, this looks like it's Anissa. I know this is blurry, but this is the GoPro footage on one of the players, and if you can see the white, it looks like they're wearing this like very large, cumbersome vest, and there's like little balls on it. The players are gonna have these like boxing gloves, and you're gonna have to like try to punch the powder and all these balls off of your opponent. Now, those are the little sneak peeks at the very beginning of the launch special. And there's not a whole lot of voiceover parts on that one. We do hear like Laurel saying, "Fight for it," and then CT saying, "It's going down tonight." And now it's time to get into the daily challenge sneak peek that happened closer to like midway through the launch special. Here's what I think is going to be the trivia daily challenge of the season. And once they get too many questions wrong, TJ will push a button and the cord will release. And as we see, Cara Maria is just gone. We saw this earlier. We're going to see this multiple times here as well. I do want to point this out. I said that this is possibly going to be happening earlier in the season than later, because you just see so many people doing this challenge. I mean, we see Katie in the very far end. We see Katie. We know Anissa's doing this from other official trailers and everything. So we know Anissa's there. We know CT's there. We know Darrell's there. It looks like almost all of the Era 2 team is here. I mean, we have Cara, Emily, Bananas, Laurel, Derek, Ryan, Nehemiah and Aviv. That's a lot of people. 8 players for Era 2. Here we can see that Bananas and Laurel have the armbands, and it could be that they are 2 players that were maybe picked to possibly be the speakers of the team that we're going to see later on, that Bananas and Laurel are in what looks to be the nomination room at the head of a table. So my thought process is that they were either chosen to be captains, to where if their team lost, they'd be going into the elimination, or if their team won, they would get into power. Here we have Jenny in the water, and it looks like Casey is also in the water, and she is holding her stomach, having to be swam to shore. Whoever came up with this is probably getting fired after this. I mean, what the heck? Because at one point, you hear TJ yelling, "Cara, are you good?" So I wonder if so many people are falling off, hitting the water so hard on their backs that it is just taking everybody out. I mean, here we have Casey. We know CT is going to be taken off in a stretcher after this challenge as well. You have TJ yelling, "Cara, are you good?" Maybe that's for a different daily challenge, but I feel like it's for this one as there's so many people getting injured. And then you have Emily like hiding her head in her hands because she's probably thinking, I don't want to get a question wrong and be flung into this water and possibly get injured. Brad looks very disheveled here with his beard bun. We've seen this particular scene before with Theo. We're going to be able to see a zoomed out version of this challenge as well. Here we have Tori drinking something. I wonder if that's vegan. This looks to me like the Viking Canoe Daily Challenge. I feel like that Viking Canoe Daily Challenge is going to be a very strenuous daily challenge. It looks like they're going to have to paddle for long periods of time. They're going to have to go station to station to do random different tasks. As you can see, there's an eating task. There's going to be one with a balloon popping task. We have Devin. He's going to be doing the water challenge as well. He's going to be there. We didn't get to see Era 3 on that side of the camera angle. Here, I already talked about a balloon popping. It looks like possibly this could either be Kyland or Theo, who is walking with a giant balloon, and then all of a sudden, there's spikes everywhere. Here's the giant catapult, which is flinging tennis balls, it looks like. Here's the angle again of everybody who is running to try to grab these tennis balls that are getting flung everywhere. Here, I feel like this is episode 1's. Everybody's here, all 10 players for every single team, and TJ blows the horn and everybody's running. Here's what I was talking about with the drinking, eating station, as well as the station with popping the balloon and everything, because you could see like all the season tokens are everywhere. You can see there's something on the table. So my belief is that they're going to have to go station by station collecting possibly the season tokens by completing all these different tasks, maybe one person per task. This is going to be a long, long daily challenge, and I'm here for it. And we can see that there's a ton of people doing this. Looks like Casey's here, Corey's here, Theo's here. Anissa's not even in the water yet. She's the only person not in the water. Cara's here. Here's the truck daily challenge. This is the climbing challenge. There's a climbing wall that have to do this. It looks like there's an obstacle course. Maybe they're trying to have to collect all these little tokens everywhere. Here's for Era 4. We got Michelle here doing this water challenge, as well as this is Jenny. As in this frame, you can see the YN. Here's the canoe challenge again, and you can see all 4 canoes are like zigzagging their way down. Here's the Era 3 boat. We got Corey, Tony, John A, Naya, Devin, Jordan, and I believe Tori in the back. So we got 7 people left for the Era 3 team. So the people who could be missing out doing this challenge or be eliminated before this challenge, Leroy, Avery, and Amanda could possibly be eliminated. The first 3 people eliminated from the Era 3 team. This looks to be like a canoe portion or a boat portion from the invitational, Era Invitational at the very beginning. So here's the challenge that it looks like everybody's trying to make their way through the woods. They have to work as a team, have good communication to be able to move this giant apparatus through the trees, to move through the trees and the pathway that the challenge has set up for these teams and these players. Here's the SWAT Daily Challenge. We can see that Ryan's doing this one, Corey's doing this one, Theo's right there, actually getting smushed by Corey, it looks like. CT's having some fun time before the water challenge. Luckily, he's having fun before the water challenge because it seems like it ends in a not so fun way. Johnny Bananas will be doing the jump and run, grabbing the flag challenge. It looks like in the background, I can make out that Nehemiah and Aviv from Era 2 are here doing this challenge, as well as Johnny Bananas, and there's somebody else behind the pillar. I can't tell who that person is. Theo will also be doing it. I feel like it's unfair for Theo to be doing this because it's so funny watching this little section of him like jump and grab it, because it feels like he doesn't even have to jump. It just feels like he has to lean forward and just grab the flags as he's falling down. Because as he's grabbing it, it looks like he can grab the top of this like bar here. Jenny will also be doing it, and in the far background, we can see 3 other Era 4 players. It looks like Theo and 2 other people. I can't tell you who else would be here. There's the skyscraper as people are falling down. As we can see, Anissa, Derek, and that is CT flipping into the water, hits his back. CT comes up writhing in pain and then being carted off in a stretcher and taken to the hospital. And we can see Cara and Aviv will also be doing this challenge as well. And the final look before going into the commercial break is the ambulance. And here's what my theory is that they know CT is a fan favorite. Why would they show this moment if this is CT legitimately having to medically DQ? I have a feeling that they showed it so many times that this isn't where CT leaves. Maybe he bruised his back and he has like a back spasm at some point. Maybe it's locking up and he goes to the hospital. They check him out. They say he's good. They were able to work it out to the point where he comes back to the challenge house after being at the hospital, and he just needs to take it easy for a little bit. I have a feeling that he's going to be fine after this. This is my theory. We don't know. He could be saying bon voyage after this. He could have come back to the challenge house being like, you know what? I want to be able to be mobile for my kid and everything, and I don't want to be like hurt myself even further, so I'm going to go out. I could totally see CT doing that, but I could also see CT being like, I'm going to stay if the doctor says I can stay, because why would they show this over and over again if it's going to be a massive disappointment to see CT be medically disqualified? Some other voiceovers that happened during this portion of the launch special, we have somebody, I can't tell who, but a guy saying, "Don't get cut." And then Jordan at one point says, "Hey, you cheating bleep." And then Josh saying, "You're going to be all right, big guy. Stay strong, buddy," as we see this moment of CT being carted off and put into the ambulance. This is where the actual super trailer starts off, and to me, this is most likely going to be how episode 1 starts out. Everybody lined up in a straight line, and they're going to be doing a night daily challenge right off the rip. Speaking of right off the rip, we get a voiceover from Amanda saying, "I'm just waiting for some of these ticking time bombs to explode." In the middle of her saying that, we skip from this wide view of everybody lined up to Cara Maria, Laurel, Johnny Bananas, a lot of Era 2. Now we're into Era 1 with CT, Era 3 with Naya, Tori, and then TJ here says, "Season 40," before he's about to blow the air horn. We go from that daily challenge to the skyscraper daily challenge. I do not know whose ankles these could be, and I'm sure they are not Bananas, who is on the next frame. But as you can see, Bananas is here, and we can see clearly that there are flags for each era. Dark blue for Era 1, green for Era 2, Era 3 is the light blue, and then pink, and then there's also a red flag in the middle. I wonder if you have to run and jump and try to grab your own flag, as well as that tiny red flag in the middle is like double the points, or are you able to jump and try to grab somebody else's flag for sabotage, and then try to grab the red flag for maybe double the points. We had some voiceover moments up to this point. We had Naya saying, "This is the season to take big swings." TJ says, "Is everyone ready?" And then we have Jordan here saying, "It's a whole new game, buddy." Hopefully it's not too new of a game, because we want to just see these players just play the challenge, you know? So hopefully it doesn't get too convoluted to the point where it feels like a completely different game. We are back to the skyscraper challenge. To me, I don't know why, but everything in my being is screaming that that is Devin. Can't really see who the actual person is, except for that they're in Era 3. I just think that this is Devin. To me, I think this is Aviv doing the challenge, and we can see that there is no other flags up there besides the green one. So maybe you have to go after your own flag, and Aviv is the last person to go. Maybe everything is riding on her. We can see that Rachel will be doing this challenge as well. In the official trailer where there was a giant clock and everybody was like pulling with the giant clock, and I didn't know if that was going to be a time-based challenge, right? We can clearly see the clock in the background. So this is the challenge with the clock. Maybe one player is going to have to run and jump and try to grab the flag from hanging, and then you're going to fall down, and to get the max amount of points, your team is going to have to be able to pull you up in a certain amount of time. Josh will also be doing this challenge. Now, this kind of throws a wrench into maybe you have to grab your own team's flag, because Josh is clearly not jumping to grab onto his own team's flag. He is running and jumping to try to get the blue flag. And then here is Devin running and jumping. It looks like he has grabbed the red tiny flag, and then he's also grabbed the Era 2 flag. What could this all mean? And it looks like you fall for quite a while. So a lot of these next scenes will be just of the banners, and I just wanted to take a look at some of them. I personally like the ones that feel more inspired by the actual season it's from. Like, to me, this 2000 Real World versus Road Rules, this is supposed to be Season 3's like dog tag / banner. And this one looks boring to me compared to one like Battle of the Seasons looks legit. Season 1 Road Rules All-Stars, that's what it was officially called, just has Road Rules on it. I wonder if they kept All-Stars off because they didn't want people to get confused that it's for Season 1 and not the All-Stars Challenge series. But we get to see it from inside the house to it being in a daily challenge. I really enjoyed that one where they had to put all of the seasons in order in Season 30, and to me, I'm happy that they're doing something to that effect in this season as well. Again, Battle of the Seasons 2002 Season 5's banner looks really good. Battle of the Sexes, I guess, is purple. Inferno 2 looks great. Gauntlet 2 looks cool. To me, it doesn't make sense because Gauntlet 2 was more of a pirate theme. This looks like it has the Grim Reaper on it. The duel, impeccable. The duel 2 looks fantastic. Fresh Meat 2, sure. Season 20 looks impeccable. The best one, I think. Rivals looks absolutely boring. For a season that is incredible, why don't they have the actual logo of Rivals? Free Agents did not take place in like the Grand Canyon, it looks like. Invasion of the Champions also looks very boring. Season 30s looks great. Vendettas, what the heck? I'm very upset because I like Season 33 a ton, and for a season that says Worlds in it, there is no globe. But there is a globe in Season 37's. Total Madness looks great. That is Season 35. I'm just a little upset by some of these banners. Like, Season 38 looks so boring. And the same thing with Season 39. Granted, that season was boring. This is a daily challenge that I'm very much looking forward to because as we move forward in this, you can start to see the logos start popping up. So I wonder if this is going to be like a memory game, or you have to memorize like which ones light up where or where the season goes, and it'll light up if it's right, go red if it's wrong. I think this is going to be really, really cool. I'm hoping it's going to be really, really cool. We have Cara holding onto a rope, looking not very thrilled to be doing whatever she's doing in this daily challenge. Now, I do want to mention an observation that I made in the official trailer breakdown, that during these trailers, you can see that at the beginning, like in the first daily challenge where everybody is lined up, everybody's wearing their team colors. And in some other challenges, like the skyscraper one, Devin is wearing all light blue. Some people are wearing all pink and everything. And then somewhere in the trailers, the players will stop wearing their team colored jerseys and start wearing just black jerseys. So I'm thinking that maybe this game could change from a team season and it'll change to possibly a solo game, where everybody just wears black and they're out there playing for themselves. And here's Cara wearing a black jersey, getting ready for a daily challenge. I think that maybe this is the one where it's the giant trucks barreling through that giant wall, and players are going to have to swing out to try to punch that target, where we're going to see that later on. Leroy looks to be in deliberation or nominations, and he does not look very happy. Derek, Rachel, and Tina grabbing onto a rope and trying to pull. This is the skyscraper challenge where players are jumping to try to grab the flags. We have Jenny here walking down the hallway. Darrell looking directly in the camera before a water daily challenge, a heights over water daily challenge. Tori looking directly at the camera. This is from the official trailer. This too is on the official trailer. Horacio is going to be doing the water daily challenge. I believe that this is going to be one of the earliest daily challenge. Jordan staring at the camera. We have Laurel. It looks like she's doing the skyscraper run and jump to try to grab the flag. We're back to Darrell, who was just staring into the camera, is now looking kind of worried. But you can see CT, Darrell, Derek, and I believe Anissa will be doing this daily challenge. And then you have John A. walking very sassy and staring directly into the camera. I would not want to mess with John A. Let's go through some of the voiceover moments that happened up to this point. You have Corey saying, people are making deals. Then Emily saying, these are the legends. These are the OGs. Probably talking about Era 1. Corey again, back to say, this is the best of the best. Bananas. We've assembled the murders row of the challenge under one roof. Laurel, I've come here to win. And at one point we have the most interesting splice voiceover moment where it sounds like TJ starts by saying this season, and then Johnny comes in to finish the sentence saying we're gonna be battling against eras. I guess they didn't have like one person in particular saying that whole sentence, so they decided to splice in, here is the truck challenge. We're getting an underview of somebody doing what it looks like to be a rock climbing challenge. So at one point, we're going to see Michelle go up one side, rock climber wise. Then it seems like you can get on top, walk across, which I think this could be like maybe either Theo or Nehemiah doing this. And then once you walk across, there's going to be on the other side like this fireman PVC pole, and you can just grab onto it and then go down. Here we have Corey, who is in a desert. They've got camelbacks on, and we're going to see other people doing this challenge, but they're just in sand dunes, running across these sand dunes. Jenny is on a rope, and she's falling into a wall of boxes. We're back at the desert where Corey is pouring water on Theo's head to cool him off, while Theo is having a really tough time. Maybe he's cramping, maybe he wasn't hydrated enough, but he is getting some major help from Jordan and Josh, who are propping him up, helping him walk across this. Maybe they're in a group together. Maybe they're in a 4-man grouping for this daily challenge. We're going to see like in red players popping up. I want to say that this is the moment of players walking into the deliberation or nomination. As we can see, Jenny is here, so maybe her Era 4 team is going to be walking in here. Then you have Emily and Brandon right behind her walking up, and you have Anissa and her Era 1 team coming in. Tony and Naya right behind him is walking up as well. Leroy is here. Horacio and Michelle is also coming in here as well. Kylan at one point says 40 seasons of competitors. And here we have everybody lined up. This is, I think, how the actual season, episode 1 is going to start, with everybody arriving in this, like, the back of this truck. As they bust out, you can see Derek and Darrell, CT and Brad. They're all hyped. You got Brandon and Aviv and Kellyanne, as well as Laurel's, like, super excited. So is Nehemiah. And then Jordan and Era 3 is just being as serious as humanly possible. TJ has the silhouette, and as he's walking up from a silhouette to be revealed in the light to the camera, and then we get the shot of the truck backing opening up and everybody comes walking out. Era 1 first, then Era 2, Era 3, Era 4. We're back going through the lineup yet again. Now, I do want to mention that if I do show duplicates of something that we've already seen, a frame that we've already seen, it's not my fault. I just took the screenshots from the actual trailer. But we have Brad here getting ready to go. We have Anissa right next to Brad. We have Katie as well next to Derek. CT, again, this had been used. Jody is also here, which, can I just say, there was not a whole lot of Jody in the launch special as well as this trailer or the official trailer. So I'm actually worried about Jody and how long she lasts on the season. Then we have Rachel with her game face on, and Rachel saying, Era 1, we are the backbone of this franchise. Going from Rachel to Laurel and Tori, Ryan, Katie, yet again, Derek, Naya, Michelle, looks like Michelle's going into an elimination. See Anissa yet again. Here's Nehemiah. Amanda, like taking a deep breath out. Olivia, we saw this in the official trailer, that she will be doing a Hall Brawl elimination this season. Well, we're back to Jody. Here's Brandon. Another person. I said we haven't seen a whole bunch of Jody. We have not seen a whole lot of Brandon at all. Launch special, official trailer, this super trailer. Here we go through all the eras, numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. Here we have what I assume to be from the official trailer. The Theo versus Paulie elimination. I never noticed that Theo had a very nice tattoo on his leg. A night out on the town. We got Jenny dancing and Tori is hanging out. Here is Paulie getting ready to do a Hall Brawl elimination. This was another interesting frame because at first glance, I just thought it was just like a light thing, maybe a transition or a segue. If you can like kind of see from the blurriness, it looks like somebody's hand is holding a light and they're like putting a cup or a light over a challenge logo. I couldn't tell you what this could mean or what this is gonna be. So I wonder if this is a daily challenge, a dark, in the dark daily challenge, something's gonna be happening. We don't get too much else of this. And it's very quick in the super trailer. Maybe it's for the final. Who knows? Maybe it's for the final and they just wanted to show a little glimpse of it. We have the Canoe Daily Challenge where we can see Josh and Casey are in this. And it's at this moment that Nuri says, Era 4, we have brains, beauty, and brawn. Here's Michelle struggling to get up what I believe is the rock climbing wall that I mentioned earlier. We're going to see a more zoomed out view for that. Olivia and Theo get very snuggly and cuddly with each other. We kind of saw the sparks in the beginning of this in the launch special. This frame makes me very upset that they included this because in the official trailer, they did so well blurring out faces and names and everything. They gave away the Paulie versus Theo Hall Brawl. Here in the super trailer, they give away Olivia and Nerys are most likely going against each other in the Hall Brawl limit. This is clearly Nerys. And it's like, how many times can they play Hall Brawl in a season? I guess if you're talking about like season 23 and season 36, they could play it like 3 or 4 times. So maybe this is just like smokescreen. Possibly we could be seeing Nerys versus Olivia, which would be a very exciting matchup because of what happened last season if they would have kept it kind of private, kept it on the down low coming into the... I don't want to see this. I know I'm doing this, and this is kind of spoilerish, and I know that there's going to be some like potential spoilers that I walk into, but to me that was so bad. That was so blatant. We have what I believe is Theo trying to walk through this like structure with points with a giant balloon, and his balloon pops. Kylan makes it deep within the season. He's hanging out with Jordan, who I guess can wear sunglasses during a daily challenge. The truck challenge, where I think players are taking ropes to swing. So Jenny could be doing this one. Cara earlier could be doing this one. Corey and Bananas will be doing this one. And I think that is Theo. And I believe the other person about to hit the blue target is Derek. Corey's doing this one. Here's the catapult with a whole bunch of players. We've seen this on the official trailer, so I'm going to just move forward. Something that I didn't notice in the official trailer that I did notice here is that it looks like players are trying to run out because the catapult is going to like fling out like a bushel of balls. And so it looks like they have red tennis balls that they have to go search for and then bring back. Tori has 2 in her hand right there. We have Cara Maria doing this challenge as well. Corey looks scared coming out of a tunnel that's leading to underground. Jordan's gonna be doing a water challenge. I think somebody's just chilling out in the pool late night by themselves. I can't tell who that is. Here is the climbing challenge that I think that we saw Michelle struggling with in the other frame. As we can see, this person is from Era 4. And if we go a little further, we can see that they have a puzzle piece in their mouth. So maybe you have to go up and down, climbing and collecting all of these little puzzle pieces or tokens. So this is epic. So it looks like this could be the nominations. Maybe the team wins. Maybe like an arrow team wins. As we can see, we have Laurel and Bananas at the head of the A. It's kind of like season 34. An era can win, but they have to name 2 speakers, and then they have to nominate players from a team. Or maybe their team nominates 2 people to possibly go into elimination, 1 man and 1 woman, and then the era team who won, the speakers, get to choose 2 people that they would send in from a different era to go against the losing team's nominees. But here we have clearly Horacio and I think Jenny, so era 4 maybe have lost. These 2 were nominated, or they volunteered to go in because maybe they're the toughest for their era, or maybe they're like, we lost it for our era, so we want to go in and prove ourselves. And here we have Laurel and Bananas at the head of the table, who are speakers for their era team, wanting to hear them out, who would they like to go against, what do you think? And then they'll make the decision on 1 guy and 1 woman to send in against Horacio and Jenny. And there is a daggone hourglass. Possibly era 4 gets into power. Jenny is here, and she's a speaker for her era team. Here we have Josh turning over the hourglass. Easily, I could tell that this is Jordan flipping over the hourglass. I could just tell from the scruff, beard, the chain, and the shirt in particular. Here's Cara Maria running out of a cave, and there's bats, and she's like freaking out. I had to do a double take because I thought in the official trailer we saw like Naya and Kylan getting close with each other. This looks to be Josh and Naya getting close and snuggling with each other in the pool. How spicy can we get? Here we get a very emotional moment between Paulie and Cara. I can only assume that this is Paulie having lost an elimination and he is getting ready to go, and Cara is saying goodbye and they don't want to leave each other. We have another challenge couple of Horacio and Nerys. Then we have Laurel here putting that thing on Tori. Jenny and Ryan seem to be getting close with one another. And here we have a moment in the pantry, and you have Laurel yelling. Before we get to Laurel yelling at Cara Maria, we have at one point Nehemiah saying these eras are stacked. Banana saying the challenge is like a jar of jalapenos. What you do today will burn your butt tomorrow. And now we have Laurel saying, don't ever accuse me ever again, Cara. Yelling. She is being pulled out of the room, and you can see everybody is here. You got Corey, you got Devin, you got Nia, you got Casey. And Cara starts to cry. Rachel is there to console Cara, as well as Ryan is also there as Cara is crying. Emily is here saying, if there's a threat, I will remove it. Corey is here yelling at somebody saying, how stupid can you be? Then you have Ryan saying, you're burning bridges left and right. I believe goes alongside what we just saw happening in the kitchen or pantry with Laurel and Cara, where Ryan, I think, was put off by what Laurel did and what was saying to Cara, that once they got into a room by themselves, Ryan, who was relatively friendly with Laurel up to a point, and I think this season is when everything in the friendship changes tides, and Ryan is like, look, Laurel, you're burning bridges that you don't need to be doing. John A. is also very upset. We have Josh saying, you're making a mistake. Now, there was a point of mystery in the official trailer, and I think it surrounds this moment when Bananas is saying it's like listening to nails on a chalkboard, listening to you talk every day. And then we quickly jump to Tina saying, how many people hate you, dude? We didn't get the dude in the official trailer, I know that they like to do editing magic in these trailers. I don't think that's editing magic. I think that there is going to be problems between Tina and Johnny Bananas. Nehemiah is here saying, I didn't see this coming, and y'all didn't see this coming. Here we have Josh, Theo, and Jenny trying to pull somebody up. I believe that they will be doing the skyscraper daily challenge as well. As we saw, somebody from Era 4 was trying to carry a balloon in a very pointy, spiky structure. Looks like Tori will also be doing that, and her balloon will be popped. Here we have the canoe daily challenge. TJ says, just in case you haven't guessed yet, half of you are going to see an elimination tonight. I would not expect that because, again, this is what I think is the first daily challenge of the season, and half of the people are going to see an elimination that night? Are you kidding me? That's wild. That would be wild. I wouldn't like to see. I don't like that. I wouldn't want to purge, but if it's eliminations, then I guess. But why are we getting out? Why do we have 40 people if 10 of them are going to leave that night? Here we can see that I believe this is Nehemiah about to slide down the pole. There are the steps that we saw earlier when we had the underneath view of somebody walking across. Kyland, 2 red tennis balls. He's putting them in his tube, and he's trying to win power, win safety, be able to maneuver these giant structures, work as a team, work on their communication, to be able to walk these giant structures through the woods. Theo is doing this daily challenge. Here's everybody's lined up yet again for that one challenge. Avery is here. Mark is looking very excited. Anissa is also looking excited. Derek looks shocked because, again, TJ says, just in case you haven't guessed yet, half of you are going to see an elimination tonight, which has Derek and Michelle doing a shocked gasp face. Here is where Jordan says there's always a twist. No, this is not the catapult ball challenge because, as we remember, Kyland, Cara, and Tori were all wearing black jerseys. Here we can clearly see that Ryan, Cara, and Laurel are all working together. As we can see, somebody is trying to climb up and to do an obstacle course and grab everything. We have Cara looking very disgusted or very kind of like put off. Her voiceover says nobody knows who wins, who just won. Well, she's in street clothes, so maybe her Era 2 team won. They had safety for this night. They're watching an elimination, and something is too close to just declare a winner, and maybe TJ is going to go have to check the tape. We're back in the desert. We have 3 players here. Clearly, this is Johnny Bananas. That, I think, is Corey. I don't know who that other person is up at the front, but they're all running in the desert. As we can see, Josh is right behind Johnny Bananas. Peek at what Josh has wrapped around his knee. Josh may be injured. Maybe he injures himself during one daily challenge, and he has a knee injury. So, better watch out for that. CT says, this is gonna get spicy. Or he says, this is gonna get spicy. We have the SWAT Team Daily Challenge. As we can see, Corey laying it on to a challenger on the ground. I believe I can see a CK, and it's a dark blue helmet. I believe Corey is going after Derek, smacking him in the back. Maybe Derek was going after Devin, and Corey's like, not on my watch. We can see Kyland and Theo in the background as well. Jordan is here. Derek is also here. I feel like this SWAT Team Daily Challenge is going to happen sooner rather than later. Here we have everybody running to their boats. Clearly, we can see Nerese and Casey. I don't know who's behind Nerese. It looks like they're scratching their eye. They can't see who it is, but maybe they're going into the deliberation. Maybe they're making their way into the elimination arena. Looks like Theo will be in an elimination, another elimination, and he's looking down a tube. Maybe this is going to be something similar to like the steamroller elimination that happened between Jordan and Darrell. Here we have CT, and it looks like he's yelling at Tina. So this is my best guess of what happens. Go back to where we saw the players having to take those giant structures and have to go weaving in and out the forest trying to get from one area to another. Era 1 was making their way through the forest. Maybe there was a fork in the road. Tina says, let's go this way. there's a little bit of pushback or questioning from like CT and some of the other players like, I don't know, that way doesn't look like the right way. Tina says, we got this. They go that way. All of a sudden, they have to turn around and they lose the challenge. You wanted to go that way. We said it was too short. We said go this way. And I believe he's talking to Tina and he's very livid. We have Olivia, I think, getting a trivia question wrong and she's flipping into the water. Michelle is here listening to Horacio. And it looks like they're in the deliberation or nomination. And Horacio says, my only priority is Nerys. And then we get a spot of them on the couch. See Johnny Bananas in the desert yet again. He looks like he's struggling as he's trying to get cool by putting his shirt as a crop top. Cara saying if they want a battle, it's war. We have the players walking to the nominations or walking to the elimination arena. Clearly, we see Derek and Tina. We have Jenny here. Brandon, few and far between. We also have Jordan in the dark. Avery is also here. And this is where we get everybody from Tina, Nerys, Leroy, Katie, John A, Emily, Tony, and Brandon saying, my era of the challenge is the best. To me, this clearly states that Brad and Mark will be seeing an elimination this season. And we have the voiceover of Mark saying, hey, we're the ones that started it all. Enough said. And then Nerys in the confessional saying, you're the best until someone else better comes along. We have Era 3 with John A, Jordan, Avery. I can't make out anybody else. Maybe Tony in the very far back. There's so many people walking up. So I wonder if like Era 1, Era 2, Era 3, Era 4, they'll always be walking into the elimination arena. And it looks like Era 4 was not able to win. And so they're going to be going in, everybody's dressed up, not knowing exactly who's going to be going into the elimination. Maybe the nominations are announced from the speakers of the era at the elimination. Tina and Derek, as we can also see Darrell in the background, and we also can see Brad from this section here. Here's the daily challenge where the car is going over the cliff. Again, I have no idea what this challenge could look like. Somebody's getting yanked from the car. Maybe you have to get out at a certain point, answer a trivia question, do a puzzle, and you have to do it before the car flung over the edge, or you're disqualified, or your team gets a penalty, a time penalty. But here's the car falling into the water. Again, they must have a ton of cars that they're just dropping cars like flies here. At one point, Tina says, we're all here because we know the game. Then Paulie says, the game has changed, which is really, really funny. And this is the very end of the season. I thought this frame was very interesting because I was going like frame by frame, and they only showed like Era 1 shield at one point as we're segueing from the car splashing into the water to the Challenge 40 logo. And then, boom, we get the Challenge 40 logo, and the super trailer ends with TJ saying, you've never seen a battle like this before. I sure hope so. But that is it for the super trailer. Even though the super trailer wasn't that much longer than the official trailer, there was still a lot of scenes in this super trailer that wasn't in the official trailer, which I feel like if you add those to the official trailer, it bumps it up to like 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. So that's very interesting how that all played out. I don't know if the super trailer got me any more hyped for this season. I think that I'm still hyped for this season. I just wish they wouldn't have given away some of the potential eliminations, especially that Olivia and Nerys one. I really am like, man, why did you have to give that away? But I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed the launch special. I'm still very hyped. I'm still very excited. Some of these daily challenges look really great. Some of the clips from the launch special, the exclusive in the launch special, some of the eliminations look really, really good. We could be seeing some really, really fun matchups, but I don't want to go on for too much longer because I know this video is long enough as is. I want to turn it over to you. What did you think about the super trailer? What was your favorite part? What were you the most surprised about? And what are you looking forward to the most? I'm very excited. I hope players get tested for their challenge knowledge and challenge history. We have 39 seasons. A lot of these players have done a lot of the seasons, both new and old. There's a lot of history, a lot of experience, a lot of like wisdom and challenge history on this season. I want to see people have to put challenge seasons in order. I want the trivia challenge to be about challenge history and everything. And I want people to have to use their brain. There's too many times in the more recent seasons where people had no idea what show they were signing up for, what they were getting themselves into, and then they kind of flop, and it's like, yeah, because you don't know. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's the only real thing that I'm wanting to see on this challenge season. We got a little bit in Dirty 30, but I want to see it in Challenge 40. But we'll have to wait and see how that's all going to play out. What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to? Let me know down in the comment section below. I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge 40 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.